homework time. Here we go with lesson 8. Let's start off doing things right. Take a moment, put your name at the top. I'll put my name and you put yours. How's that? Sounds good. And let's take time also to do things super right and write down today's date. I will, in my mischievous way, write the word today and you write the actual date, where and when you are. Our instructions starting off here. Represent the following expressions, and by expression it's referring to this here, this 2 times 424. It's an expression, a sentence, a mathematical equation, with dis, regrouping as necessary. So we'll do it here in the place value chart with dis, okay. Write a matching expression over here and recording the partial products vertically as shown below. Okay, so we'll do it vertically and then also here as well. So 2 times 424. Well, they've been oh so kind as to provide us with the 424 on the chart there. And we're only doing 2 times, so we just simply do these 2 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4 hundreds, added 2 more tens, and 4 ones. Beauteous. And then, so what did we do here? We did 2 times 4 hundreds. And we're going to add to that 2 times, you got it right there, 2 tens. That's what we just did. And we'll add to that 2 times, yes, 4 ones. Now come over to do this with partial products, which I love. This is easier to grasp than the standard algorithm, which we'll get to, but by the time we get to that, this partial products will make it so much easier. Love this. All right, so 2 times how many ones we'll be doing first? 2 times 4 ones, and 2 times 4 ones is 8. And I put that in the ones place here. You gotta check from the beginning that you're lining up your place values. And then I'll be multiplying 2 times, just as I did over here in the place value chart, 2 times 2 tens. Take your time with this stuff to make sure everything is right. Like in this one we have 4, 2, 4 times 2, lots of 4s and 2s. Make sure you're writing the correct number in the right place. So what is 2 times 2 tens but 4 tens? So I place a 4 in the tens place and I have 0 ones. Okay? You can also speak of this, and you will also be speaking of this as 2 times 2, disregarding the place value just to do the multiplication. And you can also speak of this as 2 times 20 is 40. All works out the same there as long as you have your place values correct. And then lastly we'll be doing 2 times, so we have to put in the 2 here, 2 times 4 hundreds. Okay. And writing it all out carefully here is oh so important to getting things right. So 2 times 4 hundreds is 8 hundreds. So I place an 8 in the hundreds place, and I have 0 tens and 0 ones. Adding up my partial products, this one, this one, this one, the 8, the 40, the 800. So that gives me an 8 in the ones place, a 4 in the tens place, and an 8 in the hundreds place. Now I know that was relatively easy, but you have to grasp the easy ones. So when we get to the more challenging ones with bigger numbers and regrouping and such, you understand what you're doing and how to do it. So let's get to it, shall we? We shall. And now you see on this one already they're kind of pulling back on the fill in the blanks thing, but they've been so kind as to make the numbers very similar. We still have that 424, this time multiplying it by 3. So let's draw 424. So 200s, 300s, 400s, and then we need 2 tens and 4 ones. 2, 3, 4. And so what we're doing here is, we'll write it underneath, 3 times 4 hundreds plus 3 times 2 tens plus 3 times 4 ones, using the distributive property of multiplication to break it down into steps that are quite manageable. All right, so now let's go ahead and do, with the place value disk, do that multiplication. So we will need, let's start in the ones place this time, because when we do partial products, that's what we actually do, is start in the ones place. So we will do 3 times, so there's already one row of 4, so a second row of 4, 3, 4, and a third row of 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we'll do all the multiplication and then go back and regroup. So if you were thinking, hey, I can regroup there, you're right, just chill. All right, so 3 times, there's 2 there already, so a second row of 2 and a third row of 2. And same thing in hundreds as we did in ones, except they're hundreds, so 3 times, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and the third row, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so we do see, as we already mentioned, that we have 10 ones here, which can be regrouped as 110. And now we have, you see, only 7 tens, so no regrouping there, and that left 2 ones, so nothing to regroup there. However, over here in the hundreds place, yes, we have 12 hundreds, and so we can regroup here. But you notice they did not provide us with a thousands place, so we will draw it in ourselves, because we are bad like that. I mean bad meaning good, not bad meaning bad. Okay, so thousands. All right. And I just want to take a moment and note what we actually have here. So we're left with 1,000. We have 2 hundreds, 7 tens, and 2 ones after the regrouping. Now let's go ahead and do it out as partial products. So we have 424 times 3. So what we're going to do first right here is we're going to do 3 times 4 ones. And we're breaking down every last little step here with these easier examples. So when we get to the more challenging things, like I said, you know what you're doing. So have the patience to do things right, and you'll really learn this stuff. Then we'll do 3 times 2 tens. And then lastly, we will multiply 3 by 4 hundreds. And then, of course, we will add all of those up so I can even get that ready to go. So let's do the multiplication now. 3 times 4 ones, 3 times 4 is 12. So I do want to make sure my place value columns all line up here. If it helps you to draw, I'm not going to, but to draw lines there, separating the place values, that'd be great. 3 times 2 tens is 6 tens, and I write that in standard form as, 60. You see why we spent all that time doing that place value stuff at the beginning of the year? Here we are using it like crazy cakes. Then we have 3 times 4 hundreds, 3 times 4 hundreds, which would be 12 hundreds, which I would write as 1,200. And just as there's no thousands place over in the place value chart, I need to kind of create a place for it for thousands. And then the 2 will go in the hundreds. 0 tens, 0 ones. 3 times 4 hundreds is 12 hundreds. And you see what I just did? I checked myself, make sure I wrote it correctly. It's easy to mess up and write 120 there. But that wouldn't make sense. You'd end up with an answer that was less than one of your factors when you're multiplying by a whole number. It doesn't work. All right, now we add up these 3 partial products. 2 and 0 and 0, of course, is 2. 1 and 6 are 7. And then we have the 2 in the hundreds place and the 1 in the thousands place. Place a comma there. Might as well put the 1 there too. And so 1,272 is what we got over there. Now we'll do the same thing in this one and see they've given us nothing but the expression 4 times 1,424. So we have to draw the place value chart and everything here. So we have thousands, we will have hundreds. All right, make that look like an S. There we go. Okay, we will have tens, and there will be ones. All right, so this will be my place value chart. Great. So I will place this number here. 1,000. 1, 2, 3, 4 hundreds. 1, 2 tens, and 1, 2, 3, 4 ones. I'm going to forego writing this out, this broken down in unit form, because I do that up here, don't I? See, so no need to duplicate. So 4 times that 1,000. Oh, let's start in the ones like we did before. Let's do 4 times the ones first. Okay. So there's already a row of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And so now the 2 tens 4 times. So 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2. And in the hundreds, we have 4 hundreds. We're going to multiply by 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the thousands, we have that 1,000. We'll multiply out by 4. So there's 1 there already. So 1, 1, 1. Now let's see what we have for regrouping. We do see here in the ones place, we have definitely 10. 10 ones we can regroup as 110, which brings us up to 9 tens, which we can't really regroup, but we do have an excess of hundreds. We can regroup 10 of those hundreds. 10 hundreds is equal to 1,000. Beauteous. And as I did above, I'm just going to note for my own sake here, I have 5,000s after regrouping, 600s, see at 9 tens, and 6 ones. Great. Now let's do it out in partial products. So 1,424, and I'm multiplying that by 4. So the partial products will be, first, 4 times 4 ones, and then 4 times 2 tens, and then 4 times 4 hundreds. You see why I didn't bother writing out that sentence, because I'm doing it right here. And then lastly, 4 times 1,000. And then I know I will be adding all of these together to get my super product. Okay, 4 times 4 ones is 16 ones, which we write as 16. 4 times 2 tens, that's right, 8 tens. So 8 goes in the tens place with 0 ones. 4 times 4 hundreds would be 16 hundreds. So that means the 6 of 16 is in the hundreds place. So don't write 160. That's 160. 16 hundreds is something entirely different. It is 1,600. That's a common error there, is to write 160. 4 times 4 hundreds is 16 hundreds. And then 4 times 1,000 would be 4 thousands. Okay, and I add up these 4 partial products, and I will get my final product. So I have 6 in the ones place, 1 and 8 are 9, 6 in the hundreds place, and 1 and 4 are 5. 5,696, which is the same as what I got over here in place value. So we did it. That was a lot of work, wasn't it, just for number 1. So let's move on to number 2, shall we? Yes, do it. And here in number 2, the instructions are written slightly differently, but it's essentially the same thing. We're going to represent the expression with this on a place value chart, regrouping as necessary, which we were doing, and then recording the partial products vertically, which we're also doing. So let's get going here. Now look, I could tell you glancing at this that we're going to need a thousands place, right? Because we can just say, oh yeah, 2 times 600s is going to be 1200s. It's going to go into thousands. So let's have a thousands place in our chart to begin with. And then we know we will need hundreds. Tens and ones. Draw this nice little place value chart here. Isn't it cute? So cute. Alright, so let's go ahead and represent the number we have here. So it is 600. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then 110. And 7 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then as you see, I like to do 5 in a row and then reset to the next row. And now we're going to multiply it by 2. So that's pretty straightforward. So the 600s there, well, let's start in the ones place. Yeah, that's better. So those 7 ones, let's start there. Multiply it by 2. There's already one set of 7. We'll add a second one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Double the 10. So 1 would be 2. And then these 600s we'll do times 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now regrouping as necessary, starting in the ones place here. There's 7 there, so 3 of the ones below will give us our 10, right? And 10 ones is equal to, yep, 110. Nothing to regroup, and nothing more in the ones, and nothing in the tens. So here's 600s, and then we can take 4 of these here. There we go, 600s. So we have a total of 10 hundreds there circled, which is equal to 1,000. And now, as I like to do, I'm going to write underneath here what I'm left with. So I have 1,000, 2 hundreds, 3 tens, and 4 ones. Oh, aren't they cute? 1, 2, 3, 4. Hot. All right, let's do the actual vertical partial products thing. So 617 times 2. Zip. So what I'll be doing first, right here, I'm going to place 2 times 7 ones. And writing this out is necessary so you really understand what you're doing and why. And then I will multiply 2 times 110. And because there's 3 digits here, I'll have a third one, right? I'll be doing 2 times 6 hundreds. And then I'll add those 3 partial products together to get my super product. Okay, 2 times 7 ones would be, you know your facts, yep, 14 ones, which I simply write as 14. 2 times 110 is 2 tens. And make sure you put that 2 in the tens place, and there are 0 ones. If you just write 2 in the ones place, that's not the same as 2 times 110, right? 20 is not the same as 2. 2 times 6 hundreds, well, I mentioned this earlier, but you see that would be 12 hundreds. And so make sure that when you write 12 hundreds, you write 1,200. You see that? The mistake would be to write 120, but it's not. It's not 120, it's 1,200. And you would see that you would end up with an answer like, you'd end up with what? 154. And you'd say, oh, that's less than one of my factors. That doesn't meet the test of does my answer make sense. So in the ones column, we add up here, and we have 4. 1 and 2 are 3. And then we have 200s and 1,000. Beauteous, so 1,234. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's what we got there. Let's do it here. And again, I could see I'm going to need a thousands place. I'm going to allow us the liberty of using the abbreviations I use anyway, which is TH for thousands, H for hundreds, T's for tens, and O for ones. Because I think by this time you know how to write and spell those. We have to make certain assumptions as we move along here. So 642, and I'm going to be multiplying by 5. Ooh, I'm going to be a little squished on room here. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hundreds. 1, 2, 3, 4 tens, and 1, 2 ones. So I'll start over here in the ones place, multiplying by 5. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So I now have 5 rows of 2, and same thing in the tens place. I have 4 tens multiplying by 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like an exercise video all of a sudden. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now in the hundreds place. Let's go for it. So I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's 3 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's the fourth. I'm going to squeeze in the fifth one here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Woo! Well, you might want to as well. I'm going to switch colors to do my regrouping because, if I can find it, because there's an awful lot here. Well, it's not really working. Okay, never mind. So there we go. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 ones. Okay, so all of that. And then in the tens place, I have 4, 8, and 2 more make 10. I have to be so careful drawing these lines. And that's going to come over as 100. Oh, getting cramped here. There we go. There's 100. And then you see I have 4, 8, and 2 more make 10 again. Yeah, pretty cramped here. But there we go. It's accurate. And that's another 100. Now, so that's my ones and my tens are all regrouped. Over here in the hundreds place, I'm going to do it a little differently because it's just too cramped. I'm going to say, hey, here's 5 and 5. Make 10, so 10 hundreds is 1,000. Here's 5 and 5. Make 10. There's another 1,000. And now if I look at what I have remaining, let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and those 5 is 9, and this 1 is another 10. So, don't worry, I'll get it all set. So there's another 10, and it's bringing in this one, and this one, this one, and this one. So I am still left with, I have the 200s that I had regrouped. Those are still there. Okay, so I'm left with 3, it's going to be kind of squished in here in the bottom, 3,000s. I have the 200s that I regrouped over. I have the 110, which came from the ones, and 0 ones. Oh, they're being cute again. 3, 2, 1, 0. Gosh, they're cute. Okay, so now let's do it out in partial products. So I have 642 multiplying by 5. All right, so first I will be multiplying 5 times 2 ones. And then I will multiply 5 times, look in the tens place, yep, 4 tens. And by the way, that place value chart is a great illustration of why we don't want to be doing multiplication on place value charts for the rest of our life. Golly, and it can get worse than that for sure. All right, look in the hundreds place, we have a 6 there, so it'll be 5 times 6 hundreds. And I know once I have those 3 partial products, I'll be adding them together. So I'll get set for that. Now let's do it. 5 times 2 ones is 10 ones, which I write in standard form simply as 10. 5 times 4 tens is 20 tens. So the way to think of this, I hope you find this helpful, is when I write 20 tens, the 0 of 20 will be in the tens place. Okay, so the 0 of 20 will be in the tens place. That means the 2 of 20 is here. Okay, 20 tens, you can even think in terms of money. If I gave you 20 $10 bills, you'd have $200, so 20 tens. And then 5 times 6 hundreds is 30 hundreds, of course. And again, the 0 of 30 hundreds will be in the hundreds place. So the 0 will be in the hundreds place, which means the 3 of 30 hundreds is in the thousands place. And we have no tens, no ones. So 5 times 6 hundreds is 30 hundreds. 30 hundred, 3,000. Yes, good. All right, and let's add them up. I have a 0 in the ones place, a 1 in the tens place, a 2 in the hundreds place, and a 3 in the thousands place, as expected. So 3210, 3,210, same as I got there. Woo! Moving and grooving. Let's move on. And here in 2C, more of the same. So let's just jump right in. I'm going to use my abbreviations again for my place value chart. Thousands, hundreds, tens, ones. This one actually looks easier. The numbers are smaller, and I did a quick estimate in my head and said, oh, 3 times 3,000 is 9,000, and there's not enough to equal another 1,000, so I won't need a 10,000s place. I did that silently. So let me write out my number, 3,034. So 3,000s, 1, 2, 3, no hundreds, right? Going over to tens place for 30, so 1, 2, 3 tens, and then 4 ones, 2, 3, 4. And I'm just doing 3 times. This is easier than the last one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 in the ones place. In the tens place, those 3 tens times 3. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. And same thing in the thousands place. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And regrouping is kind of interesting here because I have 10 ones for sure. There we go. Which becomes 110, and that actually forms the 10th 10, right? I have 3, 6, 9, and one more is 10, and so that gets regrouped over to the hundreds place. And you notice nothing else in the hundreds place besides the one I brought over and 9,000, so I'm all done regrouping, so it leaves me with 9,000s, 100, no tens, regrouped them all, and there are 2 ones left over here. Let's do it out in partial products. So 3,034, which we are multiplying by 3. Zip. So first we're going to do 3 times 4 ones. And then we put the little arrow so I don't get confused and think that that 3 is part of my partial product. That's why the little arrow is nice. And then here I'll be doing 3 times 3 tens. And then I will multiply 3 times, well, I could write 0 hundreds, but I know it's going to be 0. So I don't know. I'm not going to waste my time. If you want to, go ahead. So 3 times 300, thousands, right? 3,000s. There are no hundreds, so I'm just going to go right out to the thousands. No need to write that row of 0 in there. It's not going to change anything in this case. And then I know I'll add up my 3 partial products. So 3 times 4 ones is 12 ones, which I write as 12. 3 times 3 tens is 9 tens, so a 9 in the tens place, 0 ones. 3 times 3 thousands, yes, would be 9,000, so a 9 all the way out in the thousands place with no hundreds, no tens, no ones. And now I add things up. 2 and 0 is 2. 1 and 9 make 10. Regroup that 1. 1 and 0 are 1. And I have a 9 here. So 9,102. Same thing as I got over there. Beautiful. Wow. This is getting quick and easy. See? Rock on. Let's do the last one. Can you believe we're already on the last one? Number 3. Let's go. And here we go. Number 3. Of course, you expected a word problem. So let's see what we have. We have Penelope, the perils of Penelope here. Every day, Penelope jogs 3 laps around the playground to keep in shape. The playground is rectangular, width of with a width of 163 meters and a length of 320 meters. So let's find the total amount of meters in one lap. Okay, so let's draw it out. It's quite a simple rectangle to draw. So this side is 163 meters, and this side is 320 meters. And so the total amount of meters in one lap, what are we talking about there? Yeah, it's perimeter. It's going around the edge, measuring around the edge, securing the perimeter. So we know that our perimeter formula is, well, I'll write P equals 2 times the length plus the width. So in this case, the perimeter will equal 2 times, and we have our length and width, 320 plus 163. Okay, so let's add those together. Let's do it over here. So 320 plus 163. Easy addition, no regrouping even. 0 and 3 are 3, 2 and 6 make 8, 3 and 1 are 4, and all of these are meters, by the way, just so we keep ourselves straight. So now we can do that the perimeter equals 2 times 483 meters, okay, which is the length plus the width. And so now let's write this out with partial products. We don't need to do a big place value chart here. Let's go right to the partial products. 483 meters, and the two sides together, and we're going to multiply that by 2. So what we'll be doing is we will multiply 2 times 3 ones, and then we will multiply 2 times 8 tens, and then 2 times 4 hundreds. And we know we will add those 3 partial products together, so let's do it. 2 times 3 ones is, yes, 6 ones. 2 times 8 tens, 2 times 8 is 16, we're talking about tens, so 16 tens. That means the 6 of 16 is in the tens place. So if I just wrote 16 here, that's not 16 tens. Okay, so 16, the 6 is in the tens place, and I have 0 ones. 2 times 4 hundreds. Well, that would be 8 hundreds, and that's nice and easy to write. 8 hundreds. I add them up. In ones column, I get, that's right, 6. And in tens column, again, 6. 1 and 8 make 9. Does that answer make sense? 483, well, let's round it off to 500 times 2 would be 1,000. This rounds off to 1,000 as well. And so we can say there are, oh yeah, don't forget your statement. If I did all that, I'd still be missing the statement. There are 966 meters in one lap. Nice job, Penelope. Okay. Determine how many meters Penelope jogs in 3 laps. So I'm going to take the 1 lap and do what with it? Yes, multiply it by 3. No problem. We know how to do that. And I'm going to do my math for that up here. I'm just going to draw a little dividing line here. Just to have enough space so I don't have to end up all cramped on the bottom there. So I'll take that 966 meters in 1 lap and multiply it by 3 for 3 laps. So what I'll be doing is multiplying 3 times 6 ones, and then 3 times 6 tens, and then 3 times 9 hundreds. Write that nice and small, fit it in, good. And then I will add those 3 partial products together to get my final product. So 3 times 6 ones. 3 times 6, you know your facts, is 18. So stand form is just simply 18. 3 times 6 tens, however, is 18 tens. So that gives you a big clue that the 8 of 18 goes in the tens place. So it's 18 tens, 0 ones, 180. Now 3 times 900, similar idea, so that'd be, you got it, 27 hundreds, so that 7 of 27 hundreds goes in the hundreds place. See, so I'll write that first even to show you. See, 7, so 27 hundreds, so 2,700. Okay, 8 plus 0 and 0, 8, 1 and 8 make 9, 1 and 7, 8, and 2 in the thousands place, boom, 2,898. I just need my statement, which I'll do back over here. Penelope, and I'll tell you, runners do not like being told that they are jogging, but maybe Penelope is jogging. So don't say, oh, you jog? No, I run. Penelope jogs 2,898 meters in 3 laps. And that makes sense because one lap was about, we rounded off to 1,000 meters times 3 would be 3,000. And this is about 3,000. This would round up to 3,000 nearest 1,000. And if you think about that, by the way, those are meters. So 3,000 meters would be 3 kilometers. So you think that short race is a 5K, that means 5 kilometers, so this is a little shorter than that. And speaking of short, homework time has run short. Again, we've run short on homework time. Homework time is over. Have a wonderful time until once again, we meet again when it is homework time.